Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Okay, here we go. I see it. Just, I guess refresh your browser or whatever. I got a new acronym for OBS, but it's not appropriate for stream. I just heard myself say that.
There you are, Ed. There I am.
I'm here.
We're here.
Yeah.
We're here.
Cross the threshold. Yo, what's up?
Yeah. Today, it is October 26th, 2025. A mere few days until Halloween, and we have no Halloween decorations. I know, we shrug our shoulders, but welcome to Unfiltered. I am Tyler Anderson. The internet knows me as Tyler Liger, and I'm here with Ed. What's up? And if you like what we've been doing and what we're doing,
or if you don't,
well, regardless,
yeah,
please like the video, click the subscribe button, and hit the bell for the notifications.
And share.
Please share. How easy is that?
It's easy to say. Apparently, it's hard to do.
Oh, man, yeah. For some people, it's like a Herculean feat.
Right?
Okay. All right, we got the formalities out of the way. Okay, Ed, I know. Okay. Ed, how was your week?
Man, it's been going pretty good. As many people on here have heard, that I've been sitting here dealing with issues with my eyes and, ocular hypertension and pressure. And, I got to see an optometrist this past week. Mm-hmm. And unlike the previous optometrist I was just seeing, who was a complete total, crackhead, this one,
nincompoop.
A nincompoop. This one sat there and told me that they've got my back. They understand that there are other treatments beside the standard measure of care. And basically, if I want to experiment with these other treatments that I'm going to try, then, they have no problem with that. They said that my nerves in my eyes look great. The measurement in my pressure in my eyes was actually 12 and 17, 12 on the left, 17 on the right. And, that's, for me, that almost felt like kind of weird, because the drops say that only supposed to reduce like a certain percentage. But I think I've gone over that percentage as far as reduction in eye pressure has gone. So, things I'm doing myself is, like AC carbamide. I've just now started taking vitamin D, 5,000 IUs a day. I've been taking benfotiamine, vitamin C. None of this is medical advice. This is just stuff I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, my multivitamin. And so, it is this in red light therapy. As this progresses on, and if I find out what I'm doing is working, then of course I'll share that with everybody. So that was really good news this week. I felt really good and confident with this new optometrist. I got to see you and Rick the other night. That was good. And
Yeah, that was fun.
Chili's. Yeah, we hung out. We had a couple hours conversation. We talked about stuff that didn't matter. We talked about stuff that did matter. Wrestling. It was really fun. I had a good time with you guys.
I would probably say the highlight was South Park. Rick loves South Park.
Yes. The South Park conversation, yeah, sitting there talking about what was the one episode he said Sentai pad? That one.
Yeah, the human centipede.
Yeah, where nobody read the license agreement, and so they have the right to turn you into a human form of a ass to mouth thing or whatever.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Rick would have to come out here and redo the explanation because
he'll have to do that because it's really good once you hear it. It's really really good.
Aside from that, I got to spend some time with my family, so it was good. Oh, what about you? What's up?
A few things that happened. A lot of good stuff okay, well, first of all, the supper at Chili's, that was fun. That was fun. We got to do that more often, especially with Rick.
Yeah.
I think another got OSHA certified. The 10-hour thing, I felt like it took me 20 hours to do it. Yeah, it was long and it was tedious, but I mean, it was okay. Like I just ended up just getting through it. I was kind of worried about the final assessment, but I ended up getting like a 95 on the first try, like a 92 on the first try. So that's still an A. Maybe might be an A minus, but it's still an A.
We're so used to high school standards.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, I kept it. I keep it simple sometimes.
Right.
Yeah. And then another thing came up for me. I got my foot in the door with as a contributing writer for Acapella Media, and they cover VTubers. So I was like, we'd like to get VTubers on the show someday. Why don't I? But like. I'm into it so much at this point, and I'll die on this hill. That's fine. There's multiple hills I'm willing to die on, like how Chick-fil-A is mid, and Corin Davis will know that and will tell you all about it. Shout out Corin Davis, by the way. But yeah, like VTubers, like I think it's very interesting. That's a very interesting world. It's like pro wrestling, but instead of like they're feuding with one another and they're fighting one another, they're all collabing and they're all doing events like that involve like them being in VR chat or them being in other things, putting on like these concerts. And what the crazy thing is it's these characters that come through on a big screen. And then somehow, some way, people are into that. And I think that's very interesting. So if any VTubers run across this, we would love to visit with you. I've reached out to a few of you. You guys need to get it together. We would love to visit with you. We'd like to get to know your characters.
The OSHA certification, what brought that about?
Oh gosh, I had to learn how to weld. Isn't that kind of crazy? Like I'm into like sports, and then I'm anime and comic books or whatever, and then I'm like welding.
Hey, at least now you can make swords and knives.
I guess if I had, I have to go get my own welder, but yeah, that'd be fun. I think the biggest one would be if you want to do an authentic sword though, like you have to do it kind of almost the old-fashioned way. You almost have to do blacksmithing.
Rob did that. He got his welding. I think he was taking welding classes. I'm not sure if he's certified.
So I can make swords.
And he made a knife. He made his own knife from the welding class. So I was
sure.
like,
that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, you had an announcement for us.
Oh yeah. So Oh gosh. I think I have a few of them. We have some guests on tap. One Ed reached out to, or I mean, it might have been him reaching out to Ed, vice versa. He's a Twitch streamer. He's a local,
nice guy.
Yeah, very nice guy. So you'll see him here soon. And then my boy PWR World, we're gonna get him on. The date, I got it nailed down. It is November 9th. So tune in because PWR World will speak. Yeah, PWR World will speak. I don't know what's going on with my boy as of late though. Like, he's just going after the dark side filled attractors and going after the Keno Casino, and I'm like, why, man? You're doing so good. But hey, you know what? He's got a pro wrestling background. It could be a work. I'm just saying. It could be a work. He could be just pulling people along and developing his own storyline. I just don't want to see the guy crash out. Like, I root for PWR World. I like PWR World. He is, like, you talk to him behind the scenes, he is such a nice and genuine guy. He just fell into the wrong fandom. And that's because, Darkside Phil is consistent. He streams twice every day, but he still begs for $150 per streaming session. We can't do that. And you don't, I mean, if people want to donate money to us, it's greatly appreciated. We'll shout you out. Any new subscribers, heck yeah, we'll shout you out during the stream. We'll read your chat. Even if, unless, like, there's nothing nice to say. And like my mom always said, you got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. But the internet doesn't abide by that. The internet abides by its own rules. So, but no, like, I think, Alex, it'll be interesting when that show comes on. Just because Alex is such an interesting guy. He loves old school video games. He loves old school wrestling. And what I brought up was he's a big fan of Lex Luger. And I'm like, okay, Lex Luger, the guy behind the torture rack, and he had some good runs in WCW. Missed opportunity with the Lex Express because Luger just couldn't get out of his own way. But now, like, I think Luger's, like, dealt with enough crap in his life that he's actually become very humble with time. So, it's very interesting for PWR to be like, hey, Lex Luger, he's my guy. When there's so many other people to pick from, he digs Lex Luger, but he likes those old school WCW guys, them old WCW guys.
Yeah.
And then I think next month I'm thinking of, so I need to give credit to Sweeze for opening up this door. Sweeze is doing okay. He's got a fast food joint job, which is better than nothing. Sweeze, take all the time in the world. We're still gonna be around. Just don't message Ed at 4 a.m, okay? But there were a couple guys that decided to, like, give us a follow and allowed me to visit with them, get to know them. So Dave Wright, he's out of Cornfed with Dalton Pruitt and all those guys, and they bring in a whole bunch of guests. Like, it is huge. Like, they bring in a lot of people. I think it's on either Kick or Rumble. It might be on Rumble. And then Thugless, our boy Thugless, he's part of Sibling Revelry, which Tanner's talked about in the past. I think he might come on sometime next month too. Either that, or we have, let's see, we have all December open too. And then of course we get the founder and editor-in-chief of Press Pass Sports, Kale Steed. We'll get him in on a stream. We just got to get him a good mic. So, yeah, that should be it. You got something.
One more announcement. No, you got something. One more announcement is even more important than all of that. You've been busy. You've been busy ripping music files.
Oh, the Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we now have a Spotify channel.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Ed's like, when I told Ed, I was like, yeah, I finally got going on that. Ed celebrated. I know. Ed was doing the dance and everything. We got the first 3 episodes up. I'll plan to put up the next 3 episodes, and then when I got time, we'll try to get caught up. We're now on episode 12, so yeah, we'll be it'll be good. It'll be good. We'll get that going.
I got a question on the Spotify thing. Since you're the one who's got the account and uploading, does it give you statistics about who's listening to it and how many and how often, kind of stuff?
I haven't been able to boot that up just yet. Mostly because the desktop that can run OBS, for some odd reason, it just does not like creators.spotify.com. So I have to go on my laptop and access it. So it's kind of tedious. Like I have to use the the FreeWave or whatever it's called. Got to use that, and then I got to rip the sound for from our podcasts. And I could rip the video as well and update it with video. But remember, these videos are huge. They're like they're at least 3 gigs or whatever. They're big.
Yeah,
files.
You're better off just turning it into a WAV format and storing it on a hard drive.
Yeah, exactly. Or putting it on a thumb drive that's like a 64 gig thumb drive, and then be able to transfer them over. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So it's not too shabby. But yeah, it's good. It's good. And then we'll look into iTunes. We'll make that announcement once we get cleared for that. That should be in the near future. And that's probably about it as far as big announcements.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, we're making progress. It's slow, it's snail paced, but we'll get there.
Hey, at least we're faster than Congress.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. But I don't know. What I think is really interesting is, I've had somebody ask a politician one time, it's like, do you guys get into these big arguments or whatever? What we hear about on the news, the White House correspondent or the Congress correspondent. And they're like, no, most of the stuff we pass is all mostly bipartisan. Or if they go extremely partisan, usually that's, they have the majority of the House and the majority of the Senate.
Yeah.
So they get stuff passed. But most of the time, a lot of stuff that gets passed is pretty bipartisan. It's something that everybody can agree to. Hey, we need to stop a bus each time they hit a set of railroad tracks. The old you've seen Schoolhouse Rock. I'm old enough to remember Schoolhouse Rock. I'm just a bell sitting on Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
they show that in college to this day.
They still do. I'm surprised they don't show that in high school.
It was in our college class, as a matter of fact, the one you and I took at the U.S. history class with who was that? Garcia.
Oh yeah, Andrew Garcia.
Yeah, he I think he showed that to us. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm surprised most people have never heard of Schoolhouse Rock, and I'm like, oh no, you guys are so missing out, because it explains the American Revolution. It explains how a bill gets passed. It explains all these things, and they're all educational. You can make it educational and entertaining at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Look at PBS Kids back in the 90s. They were just hitting home runs after home runs. I'm not talking about Barney the dinosaur or whatever like that. I'm talking about I don't even know. Maybe I don't want to say this because it's kind of too embarrassing, but Big Comfy Couch. Or Wishbone. Wishbone was my jam back when I was a kid. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Gosh.
You know what's frightening is that we talk about when you and I were kids back in the 80s and 90s. Well, I think I'm a little older than you.
Yeah.
So I think you were born in the 90s, right?
Yeah, I was more of a 90s kid.
But still, the point remains is that even around that time, that generation, that time, we were seeing things on television that helped to educate us, to help us use our common sense, to understand the world around us in a more respectful way. Nowadays, I don't know what the hell's going on because we're looking at Generation X, specifically the ones more back in the early 60s and 70s. And these are the same people I'm seeing on Facebook sit there and talk about, oh, the evil this side or the evil that side. And I'm going, what part of this, this gets into deep politics and, hate speech and all that. I'm not going that far.
Right.
But the point is, common sense jumped out the window because I know how a law is passed. I know how a law is formed. I know what laws are there, like the right to burn a flag. That went to the Supreme Court, and it's under protected speech.
Yep.
And just because you don't agree with it doesn't mean it's illegal. Because I see people all the time on the internet, about flag burning and going, oh, that's illegal, that's illegal, that's illegal. And
But
I'm
it's
going,
not.
you people don't know jack shit. These laws are already been challenged. The precedent's been set. Here we are. So it just really irks me that people don't pay attention and they shoot off at the mouth, not knowing what they're talking about. And, but you and I understand that you can burn a flag, you can do certain things because these laws have been talked about. They've gone to Supreme Court. These things have all happened. Precedents have been set. And I just don't get it why people who are older than us don't sound like they understand jack crap.
Right. I mean, talking about flag burning, is it moral? Probably not. Is it unpatriotic? Yes. Is it unlawful? No.
No.
Now, I do like that people, respect the flag enough to not burn it. Now, there are times where people let the flag hit the ground, which you can't do. I learned that at an early age. It's I like the respect for the flag, but also there was one time I knew this guy. He got national headlines because he flown the flag upside down. Mm-hmm. And it was because this, and I'll name names. I don't care. Dakota Access Pipeline was trying to run a pipeline through north central Iowa. And the pipeline, the construction actually ended up messing up this guy's well. And he felt like the system is failing him, and he was a Vietnam vet, and or I think he was a veteran. I don't know if he was Vietnam or not, but he he would go continuously go down to Des Moines and have these crazy flags. He would have these crazy signs that say is America becoming China or whatever? And I remember visiting with a county board of supervisors about this. And I'm like, well, why can't he just lawyer up and just say, hey, I'm just going to sue these guys. I got evidence and I have surveys and I've had third party sources. This is why I always tell people, if you have to go on people's court or if you have to go on Judge Judy or anything, bring your paperwork. Bring up your evidence. Please don't. If you show up and you're just in a hoodie and a t-shirt and you look like you're caught off guard, you're going to lose the case every single time. The judge, and most importantly, hopefully you don't represent yourself because you don't know everything that goes, all the inner workings and nuances of the law. Yeah. That's why the lawyers and the attorneys, they want the big bucks because they have the inner knowledge of the law much more. I mean, there's a reason why they went to school for all these years, and they, after a history degree, they went into law, or they They went to law for grad school, and
They're specialized.
and then they're specialized. They're highly specialized, and you have to continuously pass a bar. You have to continuously be tested, and that's why they charge out the wazoo when you take them on for a case. Whether it's a divorce court, whether it's for
Family court.
family divorce court, and then also like something like property damage, like civil law. And especially when you get in big trouble, like you go to jail, or
Criminal.
or like you hurt someone, or you unalive them. You definitely need the lawyer. It would not be smart to. I mean, if you couldn't afford one, like especially for criminal things, like they can assign you a lawyer, but if anything, like for anything else, like I would be like, be sure to have your own attorney representing you, because what my family used to have is we had a family attorney, and even better is he would do our taxes for us. So he would find all the loopholes, he'd find all the nuances, and it was great. Like, he was awesome. I wish there were more lawyers like that, or more lawyers / tax people, especially in small towns. Right. Because they get a little percentage, but man, they find ways of getting you more money as long as you can give them the paperwork and stuff. Like, and that goes back to the guy I talked about. I was like, why didn't this guy just lawyer up? And it's probably because he didn't have any money to afford a lawyer. I would figure like a lawyer would take that on, because you could get a lot of money out of that settlement. Because what you could do is you could sue them and say, hey, I have all this evidence, but I am looking to settle. I just need a new well to be put in, or to be compensated because you damaged my well. And because of how slow how processes can get, I think he was getting a little impatient. Like, he was just having these incendiary signs that say, oh yeah, America's becoming the new China, and flying the flag upside down and getting national headlines, which, that's probably not the greatest coverage of you. But and I remember he attended a town hall I was covering. It was with Chuck Grassley. And Chuck Grassley is the senior U.S. Senator for the state of Iowa. And Chuck's like not a spring chicken, but he's still pretty sharp. He is sharp as a tack. And I remember we held it in the library because we didn't have the community building. They didn't have the community building ready yet for town halls. So they get Chuck in there, and Chuck comes out of the town hall, like gets done visiting with me, stuff like that. He stops for a second and looks at this guy's truck, which is like plastered with like signs. And the guy comes up and he starts talking to the senator. And I think within 10 seconds, the senator's like, see ya. Like, he basically ignored the guy. Like, if you come off as reasonable, and not come up to them wearing your tinfoil hat, like, they'll give you a time of day. They'll listen to you because that's part of their jobs. I tell people that the system is not perfect. It's far from, but it's far from. All we got. But it's all we got. It's the best we got, and it's definitely not broken. And the reason why people think it's broken is because they are not involved. They do not reach out to their senators or the Congress people. They just presume, well, the system's broken. It's all slanted against us. Well, why are you voting? Why do you keep voting for these people to come in? Like, do you even like? I feel like some people, like, they step in a voting booth. Like, some people, like, and we all know this. Not a ton of people vote, and even worse, like, do they have even a slightest inkling of knowledge of the candidates once they step into the voting booth and start, checking out boxes? They might go with people they've heard about on the news. Like, I mean, I tell people just be educated, try to be informed as best as you can if you want to get into things. I mean, at least have some, but the problem is like the mainstream media, like the big ones, like not your local newspaper,
No.
not your local TV stations. That's why I always tell people, like, when you want the best news, you go local, because the big, like the media talking heads, they only know like maybe like small pieces of the story itself. Like they're not diving in enough. And I'm saying this because I was in that field. I was in that industry. Like it was so interesting because, like, I mean, I covered a major event that went down. And I remember the New York Times ended up swinging by and just, but they have a correspondent in Iowa that, that reaches out and do their thing. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. But like the TV, like not the local TV stations, but the national TV stations, like your Fox Newses, your MSNBCs, even your CNNs, they show just enough, to shock and awe, because really what they're looking for is they're looking for ratings. They're looking for stuff to pop the ratings and to do a shock and awe and to scare people into action, which, I mean, that's tough because, like, yeah, just not the biggest fan. Now, the national people I've met in the past, super nice people. They're just doing their job. There are some people like I wasn't the biggest fan of, but most of the national people, especially on the sports side, they were wonderful. Like, met several like sideline reporters at football games. Like, so I covered a few Iowa State games, I was there just to go take pictures. And like the sideline reporters for TV, they're like the nicest people. And then I've had other colleagues meet, like, Reese Davis from ESPN, who come into like the University of Montana and give a little talk with the journalism kids. And, they stop, they take photos, and they give advice, and that's fantastic. So, I mean, there's a lot of good people out there, but you also got to be mindful. Like, that's why I always tell people, I recommend going to the local people first, because the local people know more than the national people. So, just saying.
To comment on a finer point, when you were talking about going into a voting booth, one thing about Texas I absolutely hate is that they sit there and they go, well, we've got all this shit we need to vote on, let's just put it on one docket. And that's in their laws to do that. What I can't stand is, okay, I'm going to go vote for a president. Fine, I've got enough on my plate with, the president, the senators, the representatives, the head of the railroad commission, which is no longer the railroad commission, it's something about some other office. Sure. They can't even be bothered to change the name. So you got to worry about all that crap first. And then the thing about most states, or even our state, is that, it's just Republican. No Democrats really running in anything. So I'll be honest, when there's no competition in those categories, I abstain from voting for that part. I'm like, no. So, give me a president with this and that. Okay, I'll vote. Give me a senator with just this. No, skip it. And then we get down to the point where we talk about 5 laws that got passed in Amarillo not that long ago, and one way or the other. And it's just worded in it's all legal mumbo jumbo. How many of the public is actually a lawyer that can understand this crap, or is specializing in some sort of contractual talk? Not very many of us. So you got to go in there and you got to spend all this extra time reading this crap, and still maybe not even know what the hell it says. And I am a very educated person. I passed college. I know what I'm doing, but when you word it in such a way that makes it hard for even the common person to understand, there's a problem with that. So I think that they need to back up when they present these propositions, amendments, all these things to the people. They need to sit there and kind of dumb down the language a little bit, so it makes it easier for us to go, okay, we are actually voting for this, or no, we're actually against that. I see some stuff before the election's coming up, and they talk about these little things in I'm like, oh, okay, but it's almost like jumping into La La Land when you go to vote, because the language used is so much more technical, and you're like, screw this.
So
And then it seems like they use double negatives most of the time, where nevertheless the da da da, but nor the. I'm like, stop it. Use plain English.
yeah, so like I would probably say like I agree with you. Maybe put it in layman's terms. What does this mean? But the problem is like if they're giving you something that's a little too I can't English today. I know my mother tongue, and I can't speak it some days. I would say the biggest issue is if they're not putting it in layman's terms, they're trying to sneak something past you.
Absolutely.
Now, to say like, oh, hey, like the entire ticket is all Republicans, there's a thing called primaries. Like you could say, hey, I'm affiliated with this party. The problem is with like anybody that's like, a Texas Democrat, man, they're up against a hill. But I've learned that a lot of voters are discouraged because it's so Republican dominated, when they really discourage themselves from really going out and being like, hey, well, this is better than nothing. I've voted. I can complain, and I tell people if you don't vote, you can't complain because you didn't participate. Right. And I tell myself that too, because there are times where I vote and there's times where I don't vote. It just depends on if either I register in time. But like, something like bonds, like I would say like if it affects like let's say I'm okay with like schools. I'm okay with like fixing up something related to schools or to help the general good. One of the political things I don't like too much is eminent domain, especially if it's not there to help out. If it's not made for the general good, for the general good of humanity, like a road, a school, an electrical grid,
infrastructure,
infrastructure, any type of infrastructure to really either push along development or to make the quality of life better for everyone. Right. I'm not the biggest fan of like publicly funded sports stadiums. I'd rather see an owner basically just do what Stan Kroenke did in LA and just purchase the land, build the stadium. Like if they have to, the only thing that they want the city to be involved with is helping out with infrastructure. And again, that's eminent domain. That's going to help things out. But if you're going to get rid of housing as part of that eminent domain, you need to compensate that with housing somewhere else, or to give tax benefits to a developer that wants to do it, and then make it affordable too. I'm all about affordable housing because when I was in Lake City, they had a hospital there. They had a good little downtown. They had the high school there, but there was hardly if any housing. Like even the apartments were like, you didn't have much of a choice. And I think the nice thing would be is like, hey, let's look into, and I saw, what was it? I saw like the towns I was a part of, they got rid of like the decrepit houses or whatever. And then they looked into seeing if they can rehabilitate or build another house, or at least give like some tax credit to somebody that wants to come in and build a new house or whatever. I've seen that, and that's a great thing. But a lot of the small towns, they're hamstrung by that. Like I would like to live back in a small town again. You get a water park, you get a nice downtown, you get the coffee shop where like either the old dudes are at, or it's where all the cool and hip hoppy teens are going to be at. Like they love their coffee.
You just described Canyon.
I just described Canyon, but Canyon is getting bigger.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
they got a little water park.
Well, I'm pretty much describing Lake City, and I'm describing Rockwell City a little bit. So, yeah, but yeah, like they have like Rockwell City's downtown is not as I mean, it's got the courthouse, but it's kind of a little more empty than Lake City's. Although, I mean, I've seen a lot of people like try to habilitate those buildings and apply for like some grants from like the DNR or the Department of Natural Resources or anything like that. So I've seen that. I know you got to pay out your own end, but you know, it helps. You know, especially if you can make like an internet cafe, or you can do a place where you can do remote work and not be bothered by people. If you can't do it at home, hey, just go rent this out for a day. If you need to bring in somebody for like conferences or whatever. I'm always a fan of like new restaurants or new restaurants, photography studios, anything like that. That's really cool.
Yeah. Contribute to commerce. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm all about like reviving the small towns. Like that's huge. There's a lot of little small towns out there that definitely need, you know, some people with a little bit of capital in them and a drive and some hometown pride, you know, to take it to either be like, hey, I want to go back. Like I always told kids, like when I was like, okay, by all means, spend your youth like going to college, going and seeing the world, going to study abroad, checking out as many places as you can, see the world, and then eventually circle your way back to your hometown and see how you can use all your knowledge, all your gifts, all the things that you worked on to better the quality of life in your hometown.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of people are getting that now. Like you're still seeing a lot of rural flight. Not so much here in Amarillo. We're actually, you know, we steadily gain population here and more things are coming here. But I'm speaking for like the rural Iowans that are out there. And I mean, by all means, like a city, like if you want to fix up a house, you want to fixer upper, a city could take over that property and sell that house to you for like $1, you know, and then all you just got to do is just do some paperwork and be like, hey, it's all mine. And then, yeah, it's on you to fix up the house. But I would say there's multiple ways. And I remember I lived in Lake City and Rockwell City wanted me to move over there. They were like, yeah, we'll get you a house. We'll find you one. You know, and I was like, I really don't have the budget to really fix one up. And I mean, but we did look around and there's just not much choice. But I mean, I'm on board with developing things. It's just, man, it's tough. It's tough if you're in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't even like to say middle of nowhere because like Lake City and Rockwell City are like short drives away from the next biggest towns.
Yeah.
I think I'll use Rockwell.
So remote areas.
Yeah,
remote.
I'll use Rockwell City for example. I mean, and really nowhere in Iowa is considered remote. I could say that about South Dakota towns, but I can't say that about especially in West River. But I could say the same thing in Iowa, where like there's a town every 6 miles. There's always going to be a little bit bigger. There's going to be like your little towns that'll be like 300, 400 people. There's going to be there's going to be small, you know, larger towns that are about anywhere from 800 to let's say like 2,000 people or 3,000 people. I would say like anywhere from like 800 to maybe like 5,000 people. And then you have your bigger towns, like your cities that are anywhere from about 10,000 people to 25,000 people. And then you have your big, metro areas, which are, you know, anywhere from 500,000 people to 1 million people. But yeah, I'm all about small towns. I love the small towns. There's a lot of charm. There's not as much crime. You get to know everybody pretty quickly. And usually everybody's, I mean, unless somebody's like really sketchy, you know, kind of sussy. I know I'm using
all the town gossip.
Yeah. But like the town gossip is kind of tame. I mean, if you stay out of trouble. But except if you were working and like all you invited was your good friends who are all guys, you know, the little old ladies might be like, well, he's gay. He brings in all these guys.
Right.
Which is not the
think I've heard
truth.
you
I was
rant
like, one of
about
the
that
people I
before.
brought over was my own dad. I don't
Say,
get
no,
it.
it's not what you think. Stop it.
Yeah, I mean, like, maybe you could ask me, like, hey, who are those people that came over? Are they your friends? And I'm like, yeah, they're my friends. Like, can I
Oh, they
not
must be your
have? Can I have?
friends in your
Can I
orgy
not
group.
have friends? Like, because I'm a journalist, or are you trying to discriminate me for my job? And I know a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that to me. Like they'll be like, oh, you're a journalist. You're nosy, or you know. I was like, but sometimes it's part of your job to know as much stuff about people as you can. That way you can fairly represent them. And then also like you can get a better idea who they are. You know, it's not like stalking or anything. I'm not showing up your house at like, 3 a.m. and blaring like a boombox or anything. I'm just like, hey, like I just want to know some basic information about you, and for you to do it in your own words rather than me being like, okay, all right, this guy, like I don't know much about this guy. I probably need to do a little digging. Who knows? Anywho, long tirade over.
I say, what?
Yeah. I got to keep you awake.
Man, no, I know it's easy to pick subjects and just run with it. And, again, I don't like to interrupt people, so I just let you go sometimes.
I know. Let me.
But I do got to interject. It's all good. No.
Yeah. That would be a great T-shirt for like a VTuber or somebody. Like, just let me yap.
Exactly. Now I gotta go back about 30 minutes, but you said something about people represent themselves, and of course this is a cliche adage, but he who represents himself represents a fool.
Yeah.
The inner workings of legalities and such, and if you. I guess people have put up successful defenses by themselves, but they've had to go above and beyond to try to find laws and things that they're like, okay, well, this is what's being broken, so this
loopholes,
is what I'm defending.
nuances, yeah.
And that's why the lawyers do get paid the big bucks, because they know that they do this all the time. And I'm kind of repeating some of what you said, but when a person represents themselves, it's really hard, because you can't just go in there and go, well, blah, blah, blah. You say objection over what? You can't just say objection because you don't like what they're saying.
Well, yeah, a real life courtroom is not like what you see in TV and the movies, where like, the guy goes to jail, like for example, and then, oh, well, he's got a court date like the next day. Like, they don't move like that. They move a lot slower. I learned that from, I've learned that from like a county attorney. Shout out Tina Meth Farrington. And like legal of all people, like they like do these reviews over like, let's say like if they do a court scene in a movie, like he'll tear it apart. Cause with most court cases, they're so far flung off, because there has to be a discovery process. There has to be, they have to find evidence or whatever they need to find. Paperwork. Paperwork, information, build up a case. And then furthermore, the court has to go through like a jury selection process, which that doesn't happen overnight either. It can.
No.
It can. I remember when everybody was coming back from the pandemic, and they did a pilot program where it's like, okay, everybody's got to be separated and it's got to do this. And it was just like kind of a regular, jury selection process, but people had to be socially distanced and all this other jazz. They had to be masked and everything like that. But the cool thing was you get a peek when you're covering something like that. You get a peek of what they do anyways. And by all means, if you vote yes, the downside is you have to go into jury duty. But most of the time, like it's like, are you going to show any sort of bias? Well, yeah, I got some bias against something. Okay, you're out. Okay. Do you know these people personally? Yes. Okay, you're out, you know, like they ask you a series of questions and they filter it down to like 12 men and women. So yeah, the 12 angry men. So
what was that show? Bull. I really liked that show because the whole thing was about trial science, and you know, Dr. Bull's character was always helping the lawyer Benny with these questions and saying, well, we need jurors that are sympathetic to this, or that don't like that, or that know what this feels like. And so they'd always go through the TV show process of voir dire and ask these really off the wall questions to get more of a sense of how these people feel.
yeah,
And then they'd always be trying to at least get their jury the way they want. And of course, you know, the defense or whoever was also the same way. So it was a fun show. I really enjoyed it. I think it went on for 6 seasons.
okay.
Really good show about trial science.
Yeah. It's definitely not Matlock or Night Court, that's for sure.
No, that had its own entertaining things, but at least there was the murder mysteries investigations that happened with Matlock.
Murder, She Wrote.
Murder, She Wrote. I never really watched that. You know, it's really.
I didn't watch it a whole lot either. I just remember.
Lansbury.
I just remember a lot of old people like always got into like, you know, oh, my grandparents they were in. My grandfather was huge into Lawrence Welk. I know that sounds like a really weird tangent, a really weird direction we're going, but he was into Lawrence Welk, something terrible, and Lawrence Welk will give me PTSD. I'm like, no, don't put on Lawrence Welk. But my grandma was huge into like she was huge into Touched by an Angel because that got popular in the 90s, and she got into Walker, Texas Ranger. And Walker, Texas Ranger would get into some weird territory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
real off the wall stuff.
Some really off wall stuff, like, you know, like some dude died because of the Native American, you know, the indigenous spirits that like showed up or something at a construction site and killed this guy, and Walker has to find it out. Like what? I don't even know. And
what really happened? Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was like another one where like Walker like went back in time and like he met this Civil War guy with like PTSD, and I was like, what? It's cool, but what?
Doctor Who in Walker, why not?
Yeah, Doctor Who meets Walker, Texas Ranger, make it happen.
Well, going back to Angela Lansbury, about the only thing I really know her from, I know she was in Murder, She Wrote, but like I said, I never watched it. But the thing I did enjoy her in was Bedknobs and Broomsticks from Disney. I loved that movie.
Okay.
Absolutely loved it.
Okay. Gosh. I mean, that's a good segue to like favorite Disney movies, I suppose. I mean, I always liked Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus
was good. I didn't see the second one, but
I did.
Why?
All right.
You know why? Like I don't know why. Like why go with the sequel when the first one was good enough?
Well, now we're getting ready to make a third. Apparently,
a third Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Oh God.
You know what kills me is that Kathy and God, what's her name? The other woman.
Oh yeah.
The 3 witches.
Yeah.
She's really popular back then, especially on Sex and the City. But when but you know, they made a good story. They from start to finish, they had a problem, they resolved it, blah blah blah. And then it's almost like they're like, well, now we got to tell the story of when they were kids. And that's basically where they went with, you know, 2 and 3. And you're going, okay, well, that's fine, but you know, how often do we have to take a great story and then make sure to what they're doing? It's a cash grab. Yeah, milk it and cash grab. That's all this is. You know, okay, fine. But no, I was totally happy with the first story standalone, and then, you know, 2. Well, I watched it. It was okay. It wasn't as good as the first one. And then third one, you're like, oh, great, here we go. And these women, they're getting older.
Yeah, they're not exactly spring chickens anymore. Like,
right.
So I think another thing that this will probably make me like just quit Disney or whatever altogether is like a sequel to The Sandlot. There is no sequel to The Sandlot.
No, we already had him steal third base in the Dodgers, and that was it. We're done.
Benny the Jet. Yeah, like please no. Like, please don't. Like, I mean, we already had enough Home Alones. We've already had enough. We had enough Home Alones.
God.
I mean, the first and second ones were okay. Then they went to the third one, and then I was like, ugh. Like,
and then they did a fourth or the fifth one, and what they used the brother, but they didn't even bring Macaulay, and they mentioned his character, but that was it.
No, they didn't even mention Kevin.
No.
Oh man, yeah. Sequel.
Yeah, it's horrible when they do that.
Or like the half-ass reboots, like Ghostbusters. You know, I mean, I didn't think Afterlife was too bad, but the 2016 one, I was like, okay.
Was that the girl one?
Yeah, that one was with all the. I mean, because they had no connections to like the previous Ghostbusters or like a handing of the torch, so to speak. Then
right.
I think that's what made it really lukewarm, and they tried to just do a reboot rather than just say, "Hey, we may still have a story to tell." But I mean, I think like the Ghostbusters, you could have left it at Ghostbusters 2 and it would have been good. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Now another thing I would be like, okay, all right, I can accept a reboot or a soft reboot or probably like a different direction is probably the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like the first one, excellent. The second one's a guilty pleasure of mine. I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. That is something like, it's like comfort food. I can always go back to TMNT 2, Secret of the Ooze, and still laugh every single time where the Shredder pops out of the shed and he's like, babies, and then they are stupid, you know. They're not stupid, they're infants. Bang. Ow. And then like,
okay, they're stupid.
They're stupid. I mean, I never get sick of that. I never do. Now you could wipe away the third one. The third one, I feel like it's not as good as the first and second one, just by looking at the turtles, and even better by looking at Splinter. Splinter just is like the rat that pops up in the window and talks to you like, oh gosh, Oscar the Grouch.
That's quite a joke.
Yeah, I mean, instead of popping out of a trash can, he's popping out of the window, and then like he's trying to be funny, but
right. I made another funny.
The what?
I made another funny.
Yeah, that's from the 2 Turtles films. Like, I get that. Like, I get that, like, Turtles 2, like, Secret of the Ooze, calls back to the first Turtles, like, quite a bit. But the third one is, like, Splinter puts, like, a lampshade on his head, and he's like, Elvis blew Hawaii. And it's like, oh, God. Yeah, and then forces Michelangelo to laugh, and I'm like, dude, this is so freaking hokey. My only favorite part of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, when they go back in time, is the beginning montage when they're training to ZZ Top's like, Are you ready to rock? Yeah.
Oh, here, Wet Willy time. What 'em?
Do you, I mean, I understand that you're like a walking, talking turtle monster man, but like you'd scare the shit out of like, medieval Japanese people.
Kappa.
Yeah, the Kappa. Yeah, and the Kappa are actually like a real legend too. Like, they basically look like gigantic turtles, So
War turtles,
they were gigantic turtles. Part of a demonic like race called the yokai, where you get like you get your chicas with like the faces like getting into Glasgow smile, and they tell you, do I look pretty? And you better not say. It's like, well, damned if you do, damn if you tell them yes, and damn if you tell them no.
Right.
And then like maybe like the oh gosh, like the child from the what was it called? They Americanized it, and then they had the kid that like opened his mouth and he sounded like a dog, or like he sounded like a cat. Yeah.
You're not talking about the Yokai Watch cartoon, are you?
No, it was a movie. It was originally in Japanese, and then the Americans are like, oh, we can really work with this. We'll just license it out and put a Hollywood star in there and turn it to a movie. It wasn't The Ring. It was I can't remember the name of the film.
Was it that thing where they found the little boy in the attic and he sounded like a kitty cat?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And then they got then they got the chick that was like I don't even remember the movie. It'll be right off the tip of my tongue.
Right. It's one of The Grudge.
The Grudge. That's it.
That's
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Toshio Psyche, something like that.
Yeah.
That was the name of the character, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Little boy.
The little boy. The little boy and his the little boy and his mom, his creepy mom.
Right.
Creepy little boy and his creepy mom.
Man.
Yeah.
But you know what's still nice to see, though, is even though we have our gripes and bitches about the movies, sequels, etc., at least the merchandise still holds to some of the originality of the stories and stuff. It's like you don't even have to worry about it. It's just like, oh, turtle figures, turtles. Lunchbox, Ghostbusters. Yeah, it's just 1-to-1.
Well, I think the merchandise has gotten better over the years because, I remember when when The Secret of the Use came out, because that was a big deal when it came out when I was a kid. They did a TV special and everything, the making of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Use. Although the funny thing with The Secret of the Use is it's not much of a secret. It's that was the secret of the use. Oh, okay, all right. Well, but that's enough for kids to wrap their heads around. So,
right, exactly.
It was just an accident. It was just an accident. They explain it away as an accident. Where in the comics, it was residue from the Utroms, and then that's what and it was just stuff they had to get rid of, and they some of it spilled from a transport truck and it went down into the sewers and created the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Splinter. So
yeah. That
it
that
had
really
purpose.
bothered Donatello. He was pissed.
Yeah. I would have been pissed too if I was Donatello.
What do you mean we were just an accident?
Yeah. It's
wow.
But the cool thing is even through an accident, I think the Aesop of the story is even though something can accidentally happen, it can turn into something really great.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So that's my takeaway. The more times I watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, even The Secret of the Use, I get more and more out of it sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
'Cause
It's like watching The Godfather multiple times. You're just okay, all right, now I know why they did this or what's their motivation here. Or, yeah.
Exactly. Man, what's I don't know which direction we want to go now, Captain.
Star Trek, maybe.
Oh shit, no, too much of that. Although there is a new show that just came out. It's Boston Blue. Yeah, it has Danny from the original Blue Bloods, and then what's her name? God, I can't even pronounce her name sometimes. The woman who played Captain Michael Burnham in Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she and him are partnered up, and
so is it?
There's only been
it's
two
not like a
episodes
buddy
so
cop
far.
thing, is it?
Well, they're partners back to back. Yeah, I guess you could say it's more of a buddy cop, but they still introduce an element of some family dinner every week because
That's how every because they start the episode with them gathered around for dinner, and then they end it gathering around for dinner, and then that's interesting. But it gets a little formulaic after a while.
But yeah, she and him are just partners trying to solve crime. And again, it's only been 2 episodes so far, but I'm kind of thinking it's got direction. I do not like what they did to Danny's hair. In Blue Bloods, his hair was naturally colored, and they never really colored it. but he did have this receding hairline. You know, that's just the actor's natural look. But they decided to dye his hair and make it darker, and I'm like, what the hell is this shit? He literally looks like a cartoon mold that popped out and decided to play a character. I'm like, what the hell?
Was that the gosh, it's not Mark Wahlberg that plays, it's like
Donnie Wahlberg.
Okay, yeah,
that Wahlberg.
Okay.
He has the cop. And so far in the first episode, they've reintroduced what's her name, Bridget Moynihan, and then they also did in the beginning, the woman who plays Maria Baez, his old partner from New York, and they wake up in bed together getting a phone call about something, and so they ended up together. I'm like, what the hell are they doing?
I guess they were doing some extracurricular activities. I mean, they could have been. This was the running joke when we when I was like a kid, like you watch, sometimes you watch like a popular movie or whatever, and the screen goes to black when they start kissing and making nice and everything. I remember one girl was like, yeah, they're playing checkers. They're not doing the deed, they're playing checkers. And I mean, that would be such a great cutaway gag. Like, it's like, oh yeah, we're it's kissy, we're all hugging each other really close, and we're pulling clothes off, and then it's just it goes to black, and then it opens right back up, and then like they're like in their underwear and they're playing checkers. All right, double stack me. I'm gonna go after all your rest of your double stack me. I'm going after the rest of your pieces.
God, I'm seeing the references right through my head. I'm like, this isn't good.
I don't know. I don't think it's that bad.
All of these days, playing checkers.
It just cuts away, and instead of like them doing the deed, it's them playing checkers.
Oh baby, king me.
King me.
Oh God. Now you can go both ways.
You could. I mean, I think what would be really funny is if like somebody would get that reference and be like, "Hey, baby, let's go play checkers,"
Yeah. I'm gonna double stack your king.
I'm gonna double stack your piece, and I'm going to you can king me.
And I think that's the most perverted we've ever gotten on here, isn't it?
No, we talked about the big titty goth girls.
Oh, well, there's that.
The big titty goth girlfriends, yeah.
We didn't actually talk about the deed as we do checkers.
I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. I mean, it's not enough to get us banned from YouTube.
Oh, no, of course not. I'm just saying that, here we are talking about checkers, and, I know what we're talking about, and that's why it's so funny.
Yeah. I mean, like to somebody else, it could be like, well, they're just playing checkers,
Yeah, just innocent little checker game.
Yeah, they're playing like Connect 4. Like I've had friends where like we would play the most intense games of Connect 4 ever, and it was so fun. Like, I mean, yeah.
Just don't flip the board,
No, we didn't. We were very civilized. We had a lot of fun. And I mean, I wouldn't say that like, drinking wasn't involved, but it was really fun. And we talked about like, what if Brittany Griner really got into the NBA? How'd she just get, dominated by dudes? But I don't know, that's got bad connotations too, but
yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I reeled it back really quick, but like we just got in that discussion like while we were playing Connect 4, and I couldn't stop laughing.
Right. Yeah, I mean, who could? Once it's out there, it's hard to take back.
I know. Once it gets out, the internet, the internet does not forget.
The launch week of Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Okay, have you heard about this?
I have not. Did somebody put this in chat? Because I can't see the chat.
No, this is on X. I was just looking through my X feed and I just saw this Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Did you play that?
Is
Mortal
it like?
Kombat?
Is it? Yeah. Probably when I was a kid, and then I had a Mortal Kombat. I think I had Mortal Kombat X too.
Legacy Collection. Yeah. Okay.
I might have them
Here's
on
what's on
PC.
the. Experience the ultimate historical compilation. Of course, they're using a K instead of C of legendary Mortal Kombat titles. 1, 2, 3, Ultimate 3, 4, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, Mortal Kombat Advanced.
They're doing
Wow.
they're doing all the old school Mortal
All
Kombats into
these.
one collection. That's interesting.
Deadly Alliance, Tournament Edition, Sub-Zero, and Special Forces.
Dang, that's a lot of games.
7, 8, 9, 10. 11 titles on one game.
Wow.
And it's coming out on Switch 2, Switch, and PS5.
No
Wow.
PC, man.
Well, you know how that goes.
I know. Like, it's like how I get mad at college football, like EA's college football. I just want them to put it on PC. Like, if you could put it on PC, I'll pay. I'll buy it. Like, just lickety split, just like that. But no, they have to put Madden on there. And
actually-
Madden's terrible.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry. I had to scroll down. Yes, it'll be on Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. So there, we got it.
Whew, okay.
Steam.
Okay, because I was like, dude,
Prices
they
are
can
good.
give us like the Cowabunga edition for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and and they could do all these like compilations. Like they could easily do like Mega Man. They can easily do like, if they wanted to, they could do all the Street Fighters.
Right.
And
Oh yeah.
like not really the first Street Fighter, because that game's terrible, but Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 3, you do Street Fighter 4, and then go from there.
I like Street Fighter Turbo on Sega Genesis. I always enjoyed that.
Yeah, I always played on Super Nintendo.
Yeah. The rivaling systems.
Yeah. Well, did you see the announcement from GameStop that even GameStop said that like the console wars are over?
Yep. What's it? So what is it?
It could be like First Blood. It's never over. You don't know what it's like.
Just this first line here, GameStop declares the console wars over. Whereas, for the past 2 decades, the global gaming community has been engaged in an ongoing and increasingly petty conflict known as the console wars. Whereas, said conflict originated in the early 2000s. Whereas, I'm like,
I mean, they're trying to use like legal jargon, and come on, man.
yeah.
It's like a decree. It's like posting an edict.
Well, it almost sounds like they're trying to tear down the East Wing, but it's okay. We'll get through this.
Well, but they're not. They're. I mean, if you read into it though, they're not even tearing down that much. Like they're taking down like a walkway, like a covered walkway, and then they're just expanding it. I mean, I still think it's a waste of taxpayer money though, but
Of course it is.
yeah.
Shit.
Because I mean, like it's like Independence Day. Well, you're not gonna like spend $30,000 on a toilet, are you? Like $10,000 on a hammer.
Well,
But like, if you need to spend government money, do it on something cool. Like build a spaceship or something.
So there is that waste of money, and it's gold.
Yeah, build a spaceship, man.
Yeah.
Build a spaceship. Build a spaceship.
At least one guy's doing it. Who knows?
Or like reverse engineer one of your down alien spacecraft, and then make it to fight other aliens.
Right.
Like
right.
Independence Day, like Macross, like what are some other ones? Well, War of the Worlds isn't like that, but Independence Day and Macross. Come on, make it happen.
Right.
I mean, because we can't fight off the aliens with Indian Love Song. I'm sorry.
No, it doesn't work that way.
No. I mean, it's not. If the Martians decide to come back, I mean, they're gonna wear earplugs or something, so they don't have to listen to Indian Love Call.
I know a round dance that it says, "They're not far away. You're so far away. When I close my eyes, there you are. There you are, so beautiful
I
to
think it's called
me.
Indian Love
Oh
Call.
yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh, yeah.
Hey, tune
real.
into Unfiltered podcast, and you can hear Ed sing more often.
Hey, there we go. I'll start doing that.
Yeah. We might have to do that as like maybe like a future donation goal if we ever like really get some traction. It's like, hey, if you drop $100 on this stream, Ed's gonna sing you a song.
You want to know something funny about you saying that is that, I never, when I would go do these jobs and take my drum with me and my singers, there's all sorts of parts to it, but we would always travel somewhat
It's
around
Indian
St.
Love Call.
Louis and the surrounding eight states. And my flat rate for doing that, even kind of to this day, if I was to do it around the state, is about $500. That just covers some gas, hotel room, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when you would actually get to these events, these powwows, they had these things called blanket dances where they would ask the people to come donate $1 on a blanket, sing and song, dance with us.
Oh, that's cool.
And the people did it, and it worked out really well because you do blanket dances all week and all these sets. And so you would get a little bit of extra cash in there. Now, keep in mind, I didn't do this for the money, but the money helped to pay the other singers that came with me.
Heck yeah.
It helped to get them food. It helped to get me food. So, I didn't go do it to get rich. Of course, there's no reason for that. But
No.
it was a very nice thing to know that you could go there and get compensated for your time at least and be taken care of because you came to bring this traditional sound of music and your singers with you. Unfortunately, today all my singers are pretty much either gone or passed away. Some with a bunch of men. My father, my uncle, my other uncle, his family. It's all just kind of gone away or passed away. And so, I could still go sing at powwows, but I just choose not to right now.
Sure,
and
absolutely.
but it's funny you said that. Come here, drop $100, listen to Ed sing. I'm like, well, that would pay for gas for the next week. But
Yeah, absolutely. No, the song was by Slim Whitman, Indian Love Call, 1952.
That one, okay.
That's the one that stops the Martians and Mars attacks.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
There's another song that's called Cherokee People, something about Cherokee People, Cherokee something, and it's a rock and roll song. That's a really good one too. It's back from around that era.
That makes me think, like, I think nowadays, like, there's more, let's see, indigenous, like, rap, and I think there's like indigenous metal out there too. I remember listening to that and I was like, dude, that is the coolest thing. Now we can't play it on stream because, copyrights or whatever, but
Right.
yeah, but I mean, but still, like, that, I always thought that was the coolest thing.
Indian Reservation, The Lament of the Cherokee, and it cuts off the title. But yeah, Indian Reservation's the name of the song.
Okay. Oh.
From 1971, I see that here in the search. Wow. So yeah, it's old song.
Yeah, that's oh gosh, that song's over 50 years old.
Yeah. There's a guy, his name's Robert Maribal. He does contemporary Native American music. Got dancers on stage, but he's sitting there singing with organs, drums, guitar. It's just really good show. He's really good, or at least he was 20 years ago. I'm not sure if he's still doing it now.
Okay.
Awesome dude.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I was exposed to this all my life, and here I am, and I need to get off my tail and try to do more for my son. But I took it. I told you I took him back to North Dakota so he could see some of his where his heritage comes from, and save for the rain. I wish we would have had more time there.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. In its own way, it's pretty country up there. Like, I think, I don't know if I brought this on stream before, but I did at one point. It came down to two jobs when I left Webster City. I looked at Carroll, and then I looked at Devil's Lake, North Dakota, of all places.
Right.
And Devil's Lake, I I mean, they just didn't give me enough of enough pay for me to be able to uproot and move all the way.
Right.
But Devil's Lake was actually like a really pretty town, like really nice downtown, right next to a big lake. Lot of recreation. But it's a heck of a drive to go anywhere though. Like, God forbid if you want to go to Fargo or Grand Forks or whatever, but yeah.
Right.
I thought about that, and I kind of was like, yeah, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, there's the legend side of a story that's actually with the Hidatsa people, my nation,
With
that,
Devil's Lake?
with Devil's Lake, that the people rose up out of the lake and came to live.
Oh,
And,
yeah, because
yeah.
it was originally dubbed Spirit Lake, wasn't it?
That I'm not sure about. I've always heard it referred to as Devil's.
like there was a particular name, and it wasn't like Devil's. It wasn't Devil's Lake. It was more like Spirit's Lake. And then of course, like white people are like, ooh, that's not good. So they're like, oh,
Right.
they mistranslated it into Devil's Lake. Yep.
Right.
Look,
Yeah.
I mean, look
Yeah.
at the white people all ruining everything, but.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like the mispronunciation of Sacagawea. That's what's in the history books, but you go up there and you'll see signs Sakakawea.
Sakakawea, okay.
So that's her real name. And again, I told you there was historians on our nation that talked about they found enough evidence to be able to claim that she was actually a part of our people.
Uh-huh.
She wasn't kidnapped by our people from the Shoshone.
Okay.
So our nation is kind of turning that world upside down to get things back to where it should be,
Right.
not the way it's been misinterpreted through history.
I think what's really cool is they have a really big statue of her, like in Chamberlain, South Dakota.
Yeah,
It's really pretty. I got a really nice photo of it on my way back home to Iowa from Rapid City before, like, when I was going home for Christmas.
Right.
Yeah, it's a really, I mean, I think it's called the Statue of Dignity, I think. It's a really, really pretty piece. And it's really cool because it doesn't really it doesn't overlook the Missouri, but it's a really neat, it's really cool.
I think we actually drove by that on our way up there.
Okay.
Yeah, the one where she's holding the quilt.
Yeah,
quilted
she's holding it
blanket.
behind
Yeah.
her. Yeah.
Yeah, the star quilt.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a cool statue. I'm glad they did that.
Yeah.
In the
I
town
like
of Chamberlain, South Dakota.
South Dakota.
Too bad Chamberlain is not very good in their sports, but who knows? Although at one point, which was interesting because the All Nations, like when they formed like about 7 years ago, they invited Chamberlain, and Chamberlain actually said, yeah, we're okay, thank you. And then it might be better if they were in the All Nations, like football conference, but
Right.
yeah.
I hear that. Man, yeah. It's been a quiet week, though. That's for sure. Aside from us and our opinions and our fiery thoughts, no, this week has actually been pretty tame compared to others. My mom went on a trip to go visit a family member, and all hell broke loose down there. So she was supposed to be back here about a week ago, but she's still down there. It's like, okay. I'm enjoying the freedom, don't get me wrong. However, you start to go, okay, that's enough. Come home,
Yeah. Whew.
Don't tell her I said that.
Oh, no. I mean, it's not like she tunes into the live stream anyways, right?
No, she wouldn't even know how to.
Okay, so you're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're safe.
I mean, I've shown her multiple times how to do certain things and like access Plex and stuff, and yet she's still, Ed, how do you do this? And I'm like, oh.
That's how I was with my grandmother. My grandmother would be like, how do you send an email? And I'm like, oh, God.
Say, didn't we talk about this the last 5,000 times?
I know, but like I would get like, I would be like, Grandma, like, you already know this. And then she'd get mad at me. Yeah.
It's like my dad on Windows 98, because that's the last operating system I think he had access to, or Windows XP.
Yeah.
I bought him a book. It was XP. I bought him a book, Windows XP for Dummies.
Oh, and he got
and
offended?
not as a joke. Well, no, but it wasn't a joke either. I said, this can help you learn how to use it effectively.
Yeah, they're actually great books.
And yet, what did he do? He tossed it aside, and he's like, Ed, I'm like, read the damn book.
Oh, God.
That's why I bought it. I'm
Yeah,
not always going to be
exactly.
here.
Yeah.
He would sit there and wait until I became available, and I'd be like, really? The book has been sitting across from you for how long now?
Yeah. It's there if you need to use it.
God forbid people get up off their lazy ass and read something. See, he loved reading books about our people and history and stuff like that. He read through those like it was fire, I guess. Burned right through them.
Yeah.
Give him a book to teach him how to use a computer, which he interacts with most days. Where's Ed? Kiss my ass.
Oh. Yeah. See, like, I love like reading through like oh gosh, I have books about like I mean, I guess I'll use the name for it, but you know, the Indian Wars. Like I get really interested in Little Bighorn. I mean, I thought one of the coolest things was like having a huge portion of the battlefield all to myself for like 20 minutes, and I'm just walking around. I'm just checking out all the places, and I can actually like sit there, like actually stand there and read everything that's on the monuments that are on there, which is really cool. And then by the time I got to the main, you know, Last Stand Hill, like more people started showing up, and I was like, oh, well, thank goodness I showed up like first thing in the morning when they opened.
Yeah. Get some. I've been there. And I guess they built the visitor center. I think they built it not that far from where he fell. And
right. It's technically not that far. They're building a new visitor center, like a more immersive visitor center, which is going to be, I mean, I think they'll get it going. I want to say probably about 2027, 2028. That's their target time of completion. So I may have to come back again when they do that. I love that even though it's a battle between the U.S. Cavalry and like a coalition of like the Lahota and the Shoshone, and but it's on Crow land. Mm-hmm. It's in the Crow Nation. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's. I'm sorry. I'm not shy when it comes to this. When I got satisfaction out of knowing that somebody got what they deserved. He had no reason to be up there, even under orders.
Yeah.
It's like, good, you're dead. Now move on.
And I mean, here's the crazy thing though, and I think it's one of those unforeseen circumstances, and this, I think this is why like Red Cloud kind of, you know, stopped going after, like he decided to, Mapialuta decided to more so negotiate and work with the, like, and try to work with the Americans versus like trying to resist, is because, well, when the Battle of the Little Bighorn happened, it really woke a lot of people up to oh man, like, you know, like in you know, like, I don't want anybody to be offended by it, but it's like, oh man, like one of our top generals was beaten by a bunch of savages, which isn't the case, because like Crazy Horse and Sitting Bull were actually great tacticians. Sitting Bull was like more so a medicine man, you know, and is that the right word for it? Yes, medicine man.
That's the right term.
Where Crazy Horse didn't do this willingly. He was one of the last people to be like, hey, like, this isn't right. We need to keep our way of life. He was like a reluctant hero. But they were great tacticians. They really didn't even know that. They were just really good about, we know our lands better than the Americans do. And they were able to use Custer's hubris against him, and they built that big camp in near the Little Bighorn River, And then
Right.
it was almost like inviting Custer to split his forces. That's where Custer went wrong. Custer split his
Yep.
forces not once but twice. And then when they tried to regroup, it was too late because they
didn't work out.
They got overwhelmed. Which I love, like going back to the battlefield and really figuring out what went down, because like there were a lot of like eyewitness reports, and then maybe a lot of speculation, and it allows you to draw your own conclusion of how or why Custer decided. Because I think the recent speculation is Custer wanted to hit the camp hard and try to hold, because he did this before, was to hold the women and children hostage and make the coalition abide by his demands.
Right.
And it backfired on him.
They were anticipating them. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a really good movie. It's called Son of the Morning Star.
Yeah.
Back from the 90s.
Yep.
And
From the
they
book.
show the account from the Shoshone woman and then Custer's wife in two different segments.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that they both basically agree on is that this guy, he would sit there and he says, I will not break my word with these people. I won't do this. I won't do that.
That was with
and
the Cheyenne, wasn't it?
With the Cheyenne. The Cheyenne. And regardless, he still broke his word. So when 3,000 Native Americans trapped his ass,
Yeah.
it was like, okay, good. You got exactly what you deserved.
Right.
To touch real quick on Crazy Horse, he was murdered September 5th, 1877.
Yep, bayonet in the back.
The historical account is he continued to free himself. An infantry guard made a successful lunge with a bayonet and mortally wounded the great warrior. Crazy Horse died shortly after the mortal wound was inflicted. There are different accounts putting the date of his death around midnight of September 5th, 1877.
Yeah.
I remember in the movie, he started singing his death song. And right before that, he was talking to somebody who was, I guess, locked in that cabin, who was giving him information. So he was going to take it and probably go run. And this also had to do with the U.S. Army trying to stamp out the rest of the ghost dancers, which as long as those
which
ghost
happened a
dancers
lot later,
existed,
but
yeah, a lot later. But
Mhm.
as long as they existed, it gave the people hope.
yeah.
And the U.S. government's like, oh, we can't have that. So like they've always done is try to dominate and take over, assimilate, and move on. They're basically like the Borg. That's how I really view the United States government. And it's terrible because they've done that to everybody that they've encountered. They don't say, oh, would you like to come peacefully? Like, no, this is our land. We're taking over. Join us or die. That's
and that was the European mindset. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it still even existed after they got here. They kept doing it.
Right. Even to a lesser extent, like the British really instilled that in the Americans. It's just the Americans ramped it up to an 11. Yeah. Like I almost say like the worst thing that can ever happen to especially the Lahota was killing Custer, because it brought more attention. It brought more soldiers. It basically brought a white tidal wave, and they started really, really chasing these guys down. These men, women, and children, because by this time, like there were hardly any warriors left. There was hardly any war parties put together. Like people were just trying to survive at this point. They would go try to hide in the Bighorn Mountains. Well, the cavalry would go track them down up there. There would be, they would try to go up into Canada, and where Canada was a little more friendly. Because they I think, what was it? Sitting Bull referred to Queen Victoria as the Great Mother. And the Mounties would be a little more forgiving, but still but eventually they would have to go back for food or whatever. And right there's the U.S. cavalry waiting for them.
Yeah.
So it was a bummer.
They talk about slavery being one of our darkest moments in history. And, even that's what's so strange is that, the Europeans practiced slavery here on U.S. soil, and that was bad enough. But where most people don't go far enough is to say your own people sold you to these people who came and bought you. Because back in Africa, it was African men and women who were doing this to their own people. And
Yeah,
then selling them off
it
for
was
profit.
different tribes going after each other.
But here in the United States, it was the whites themselves that were sitting there murdering and going after Native Americans. So that one, I don't know. Both are a tragedy, but to me personally, the Native American, whatever you want to call it, the big murder plot is so
The
much
decimation
more
of
severe
of the indigenous
than
people.
yeah, is so much more severe than something that happened back in Africa, and that's only because of who I am. And I'm not disagreeing that the other one wasn't bad, but what I am saying is that
They're
this
equally as
happened
bad.
on this one happened on this soil,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just more abuse by the European people.
Sure. I mean, I think of it as a decimation of a culture that could make, really America more American.
Yeah.
Another thing I would say is after like they rounded up everybody and put everybody in reservations, they did those Catholic schools. And those same Catholic schools are around today. Like in South Dakota, they have Mapialuta, which is the Catholic school. And then they also have like St. Francis. It's still St. Francis Indian School. It was still kind of weird to be like, yeah, St. Francis Indian, like to type that down. And then there's a lot of Catholic schools. I mean, but it's kind of an interesting combination. Like if you go to those areas, like it's a combination of, kind of the folk, kind of not really folk, but more of like observing the spirits and everything and complementing that with Catholicism.
Right.
But the biggest thing was, and this is what I've learned in, even in like books like Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee, or even through my my American Indian history through Dr. Bogner back at WT. Shout out Stephen Bogner. Yeah, Stephen Bogner, he was awesome. Is kill the Indian, save the man. And I think it did a lot more harm than good, because there could have been a lot of things that we could have learned, especially in through medicine or through maybe through traditions that could really, make us more than just, like, oh man, it's all dominated by white people. I mean, and a lot of those traditions were basically endangered all the way up until probably about the 1960s, like where, the civil rights movement was going down. And then, the indigenous folks were like, hey, we're seeing this going on all around. And that's where the American Indian movement came from.
Right.
And then, yeah, of course, they had a second chapter, because back then they used to have like a museum at Wounded Knee. They don't have one anymore because it got taken over and it got burnt down. But I think it's almost better that, like, it's on Lahota land. I mean, if they want to just keep it as just where markers and, places of remembrance are at, or mementos of remembrance, rather than just building like we're going to have a museum there and whatnot, where the landscape is more of the museum.
Right. Interesting thing you might want to know is that my great-great-grandfather actually is that right? Great. I'm looking at the family tree.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Poor Wolf. He was born 1820 to 1910, and he actually was a guest of one of those Catholic schools you talk about.
Yeah.
And I remember the photo. It's him and a bunch of other boys or young men, and they're in suits with ties, and their hair, I can't even see the back of it, so I can't imagine.
Yeah, it's either cut short or like slick back. Yeah.
But there's another movie out there. It's called Thunderheart, where Graham Greene plays this tribal cop, and he talks about his character being in one of those Catholic schools, and they would cut his hair and wash his mouth out with soap if he spoke his own language and punish him. So, I mean, they were really, there was no peaceful transition here. They were literally beating the shit out of their culture out of them.
Yep.
And so it was pathetic. It was sad. And it's something that happened here on U.S. soil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk about freedom, my ass.
Yeah. I mean, I always tell people like we're far from perfect, but we have the potential to be. That potential is always going to be there despite any setbacks. Like just like I always tell everybody else, just don't be discouraged.
Right.
You know, I really think that like the indigenous culture, it's really cool. It's really interesting. I don't want to put anybody on a pedestal, but I feel like it makes America more America. You know.
Right.
But I mean, the greatest meme was like, what was it? It was Trump's first, you wanted to kick out all the illegals, and there was one I think of like maybe Geronimo, or it was like maybe a Lahota warrior or somebody. It's like, oh, you're planning to get rid of all the illegals? Well, maybe you should leave too. You know?
And take your wife with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. He actually responded to that not long ago. The whole petition's been going, well, if you're going to be deporting illegals, then you need to get rid of your wife and your anchor baby. And I think he got something to say. And well, they're not wrong. That's exactly. And here's the other thing. And I haven't verified this, but I'm hearing the rumor, or maybe it is true, that Melania holds a green card that she shouldn't hold because of her classification. I've seen that, but I haven't chased the story further, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm
Can't
like,
confirm
well, it
nor
makes
deny.
sense of, can't confirm or deny, but it would make sense if what's his face decided to pull strings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of a hook.
Yeah.
I would believe that any day.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't dive down those rabbit holes. I like my historic rabbit holes. That's where I like, you get me going about the Battle of Little Bighorn. The wagon box fight, I think, is like the coolest one.
Right.
And then, and how Red Cloud would keep his eyes on Fort Phil Kearny like a hawk. And that fort, even though it has a really big spot in the history of the conflict between, the coalition of Lahota, Cheyenne, Shoshone, and the United States, like, it was just such for a little blip. I mean, the fort was only around for maybe about a year and a half, maybe even a few more, even a few years. But it's so significant because, like, of all the conflicts that went around there, it was to the point where the Lahota were about to starve out the soldiers that were stationed there, so they had to send Portuguese Phillips all the way down to, I think it was all the way down to Fort Laramie on Christmas Eve in a blinding blizzard, a snowstorm, to bring in relief. So it's kind of very, very interesting. And then
Right.
that part of the world is really cool. I love Northeast Wyoming. Sheridan's such a really cool town. Love Sheridan. I love Buffalo. Last time I was in Buffalo, they were tearing up the downtown, so it was not as pretty as it should be, but once it's done, it should be really awesome.
Should be better.
Yeah, Ten Sleep is a cool little town. The name Ten Sleep actually comes from, I think it takes from getting over to point A to point B, and Ten Sleep was that point B, and it would take you 10 days. So they called it 10 Sleeps, which was that's where Ten Sleep comes from. And then if you go even further west, it's Worland, and then you got then if you go like more like to the southwest, there's Thermopolis, which has the Wyoming Dinosaur Museum, if it's still around. That was a big thing in the 90s. My dad and I went down there way, way, way back then. I have a dinosaur bone, but I lost it from there, which I was like, oh man, this is so cool, and I don't even have it anymore. The other thing I have, and then like Thermopolis had their hot springs. That's why they call it Thermopolis. But a lot of really cool towns around that area. Gillette's kind of meh, but Gillette's like really gaining steam to like a place like Rapid City because Gillette's really investing into a lot of things, like to where they can attract more like sports tourism, more tourism altogether. That's why Gillette's really blown up from like maybe a town of like 10,000 people to like 30,000 people, and still getting people. It's the population boom has slowed down just because the coal industry is kind of it ebbs and flows just like anything else. But it's that's a part of Wyoming that's kind of growing up there.
Right.
Yeah, but Buffalo, it's like right at the doorstep of the Bighorns, as is Sheridan. And then the cool thing with Little Bighorn is if you're on a certain spot.
Well, that's not good.
What happened? Still streaming.
Yeah, I was gonna say at least you didn't break off the stream. It just interrupted the ninja, and then I lost you. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still okay on Video Ninja over here, but I guess maybe that's our cue to kind of wrap it up a little bit.
It might be. The streaming guys are saying, okay, that's enough. And I'm like,
yeah,
no,
because like the chat's
resistant.
not working today. Like we can't read any chats. If we had somebody pop in and say hello, probably most likely Rick.
Did mine pop up? I said, welcome, 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 everybody. I did that at the beginning of the stream.
I haven't seen it, but it's okay. That's
well,
okay.
I'm
Maybe
seeing
that's
it,
a
so
sign.
it's there.
Yeah, it's a sign. So, okay, all right. Our yapping is over with. Unless you got something to add.
Oh, I've always got something to add. I just, no, actually, I think you had said something about you had to get home and do some gardening. How'd that go?
Oh, like
wasn't that this week?
That was at the last show.
Last show.
It was
Okay,
last
how'd
show.
that go? How was it?
That went okay. It was, I mean, the weeds sucked. The weeds sucked.
Yeah.
Oh, the weeds suck.
God,
and they're monsters.
You should see my front yard.
Yeah. At least it's not in the front yard. It's more so in the backyard. But
right.
Because it's like rainy and drizzly and dreary. I mean,
it's been hard to get out there.
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, it should be nice all the rest of this week. So.
Those damn sandburrs or grass burrs, whatever they call them, the ones that the little points, not
the goat heads.
Not goat heads though. It's the other one, the burrs.
The burrs. Yeah, those are.
It looks like grass that grows up, and then the tip of it splits open like a pea pod.
Yeah.
And you got all these sharp ass little things, and
they suck.
I haven't seen those at all this year. I think between tearing my yard up and putting rock down, I at least got rid of those. But then there's all these milkweeds that I guess came with the rock.
Yeah.
We should have washed the rock out before we even decided to put, but it got laid, and well, okay, I've been dealing with that. So I had a guy come in and for $300, and he poured poison all over my front yard to get rid of this crap.
He went thermonuclear.
I had to because pulling it wasn't working. So come February, at the end of February, beginning of March, I'm gonna have him come back and he'll treat it again. And it's gonna take a couple of years, I guess, what he said, to get it to really get going. But at least after that, I shouldn't have any more issues with the pre-emergent and all that going on. About this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say hit your fall pre-emergent now.
Yeah, and I think that's what he kind of did with that stuff. But he brought a truck that was pulling a pump and a tank and a hose, and so I mean, he really went after it.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Well, that's all I got to say. I'm just some gardening tips.
I do have one more thing, and it's if you enjoy the streams, if you go back and you watch them later and you enjoy them, like the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and drop into the chat if you catch us live, and so you can say hello. We can say hello back to you. We can acknowledge your presence.
Collaborate.
And collaborate. Like I said, we got some pretty exciting guests coming down the pipe. One's a local Twitch streamer, and then we got our YouTuber in PWR world.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on with PWR. We'll make sure he's okay. And then a few comedy podcasters, man. I'm kind of looking forward to those.
That's right. Oh, I do have something else to add.
Okay.
And not that it's a big deal, but in 3 days I've got that pre-admission to the hospital for that surgery.
Oh yeah.
And then the surgery, it'll be on the 6th, but they haven't. They're like, we'll call you the day before. So I'm gonna go get my cyst removed, and then I'll be sitting here on a pillow probably, and lots of padding to make sure I don't bleed out. And
please don't.
Take care of myself. And
yeah.
I know you were gracious enough to say, well, if you don't feel good or you need to go, just go ahead in the middle of the stream, and I'll keep you posted. But if I can make it, I'll stay here.
Okay, yeah. Okie dokie. Well, I
Definitely.
think that'll do it. Yeah, we successfully hit the 1 hour 50 minutes mark. Yeah, I know we did good. But yeah, all right, y'all have a good one. We will see you next week. We will post more episodes onto Spotify, and if we have some more announcements, oh by golly, we're gonna announce them on our Facebook page, so you can see that right below. You can see that link right down below, or we can make a community note. We can do those two. But yeah, anything
And we
else?
will
Any
see
other
you-
farewell words?
Thanks for watching, and we will see you soon.
There we go. That works for me. All right. Outro. There we go.